The other day, I came across a comment that really made me stop and think. It said, EDC isn't for regular people anymore. At first, I kind of brushed it off, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized I actually understand where this person is coming from. Because if you're brand new to everyday carry and the first thing you see is a $700 knife, a $300 flashlight, a $200 pen, it's easy to believe this hobby just isn't for you. So today, I want to answer the question that I think a lot of beginners are quietly asking. Is everyday carry becoming too expensive? Welcome back to EDC For Beginners. I'm Mikey from Mikey Daily Carry. Most weeks we talk about gear. Today, I want to talk about expectations because I think expectations shape how people experience this hobby far more than the gear itself. And I think if you're getting into EDC for the first time, this conversation might save you a lot of money and maybe even a little frustration. When I bought my first knife, I wasn't looking for premium steel. I wasn't thinking about blade geometry. I didn't know what titanium scales were. I just wanted something that cut better than what I already had. That's it. Simple, functional, useful, and honestly, that was enough. I didn't wake up one morning thinking, I need a collection. I just wanted a better tool. Somewhere along the way, I think we forgot that almost everyone starts there. One thing I've learned after years of making YouTube videos, the internet rewards what's exciting. Nobody gets excited when someone uploads, here's the flashlight I've carried every day for 5 years, but limited drop, only 250 made, the best knife of the year. Those titles grab attention. That's not because creators are doing something wrong. It's because excitement gets clicks. And there's also a whole bunch of philosophy that comes and studies and things like that come to YouTube content creation. But that's for another video. But here's the downside. If you're new, you might start believing that's normal. It isn't. Most people aren't buying gear every new release. Most people aren't replacing their EDC every single month. Most people find something they love and they simply keep using it. Now, obviously, if you're a content creator and you get stuff sent to you, that changes, like myself. The hobby and the market are not the same thing. The hobby is about carrying tools that make your life easier. The market is about companies creating products people get excited about. Those aren't competing ideas. They're just different. Of course, companies are going to make premium products and release new gear. There are people who genuinely appreciate premium craftsmanship, just like there are people who collect watches, cameras, sneakers, guitars. That doesn't mean everyone has to participate at that level. Now, I'm going to be honest with you for a second because sometimes I think my own YouTube channel contributes to this feeling. Not this podcast, but Mikey Daily Carry. Not intentionally, but I review a lot of premium gear. Companies send me products. I go to trade shows. I get to experience things that many people never will. That's an incredible privilege, and I'm grateful for it. But I also want to be careful because I never want someone watching my content to feel like, if I can't afford that, I don't belong here. That's the exact opposite of what I want people to take away. If anything, I hope my reviews help people decide whether something is worth saving for, not make them feel pressured to buy it. Here's something funny. Some of my favorite pieces of gear weren't the most expensive. One of the easiest recommendations I make to beginners is this Ozark trail knife from Walmart. It's $10, $9.97 to be exact. It's inexpensive, it works, and it introduces people to carrying a knife without asking them to spend a few $100s. It's the same that goes for the Olight i3T or a dependable pen that you'll actually use every single day. Those tools typically don't make for flashy Instagram photos, but they make for great everyday companions. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. One of the biggest misconceptions I see is that spending more somehow makes someone more into EDC. It doesn't. I've met people with a single knife they've carried for 10 years who are more passionate about the hobby than collectors with 50. Passion isn't measured by your collection, it's measured by your appreciation. You can love this hobby with one knife, you can love it with 50. Neither is more legitimate than the other. I think the honest answer is parts of the market have become more expensive, but the hobby itself, no. You can still build an amazing everyday carry without spending a fortune. In fact, we dedicated an entire episode to building an EDC around $100 early on into this podcast series. So make sure you go back and watch that. You don't need permission to enjoy this hobby. You don't need expensive gear to belong. And you definitely don't need to chase every new release. If someone asked me today, Mikey, how much do I need to spend to get into everyday carry? My answer would be enough to solve the problems you actually have. Nothing more, nothing less. The best EDC isn't the most expensive one. It's the one that quietly becomes part of your daily routine. The things that you trust, the things that you reach for without thinking. That's the goal, not a price tag. I would love to hear from you though. What's one affordable piece of gear that completely exceeds your expectations? Maybe it's a knife, a flashlight, a pen, your wallet. Share it in the comments down below. Let's build a list to help other beginners realize that they don't have to spend a fortune to enjoy this hobby. If you enjoyed today's conversation, I'd love for you to subscribe to EDC for Beginners. Every week we explore not just gear, but the ideas, stories, and conversations that make this hobby enjoyable. But if you are looking for honest reviews, unboxings, hands-on looks on latest gear, then follow my main YouTube channel, Mikey Daily Carry. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Waka-pack!